Okay, in this lesson, which is Chapter 4, Lesson 3, Multiply Fractions, we are going to learn how to multiply fraction by fraction. So if we look at the top, we have 1, so we're just going to multiply the numerators. So 1 times 1 is 1. Then we're going to multiply the denominators. 3 times 4 is 12. If we look at that fraction, there's no way we can simplify it, so our answer is 1/12. Let's go to the next one. I have a half times 3/5. Let's multiply the top numbers. We get 3. Then we're going to multiply the bottom numbers and we're going to get 10. There's no way we can simplify that, so 3/10 is our answer. Let's move on to the third one. We multiply the numerators. We get 3 times 1, which is 3. We multiply the denominators, which is 4 times 3, and that's 12. If we look at this fraction, we can simplify it by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and our answer is 1/4. Let's move on down to the fourth one now. We'll multiply the top. 2 times 5 is 10. And let's multiply the denominators. 3 times 6 is 12. They are both even numbers, so we can simplify by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. Our answer is 5/6. Let's move on to the last one on this column. We're going to multiply the numerators. We'll get 15, because 5 times 3 is 15. And then multiply the denominator. 6 times 4 is 24. And they have a 3 in common, so we're going to simplify by 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. And 24 divided by 3 is 8. So we have 5/8 as our answer. So on this side, we multiplied, got the answer, and then simplified. On this side, I'm going to show you how to simplify before multiplying. This is going to be called cross-canceling. So we're going to look diagonally across at the numbers. So let me zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. So we'll look across 3 and 6s. In common between the 3 and 6s are the 3s. Jake, I'm in the middle of screencasting. I'm not just talking to myself. So 3 and 6 go together because 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 6 twice. We cannot do anything with the 4 and the 5 because the only thing they have in common is 1. So now let's multiply. 1 times 5 is 5. 4 times 2 is 8. And since we simplified all the way before we multiplied it out, we do not have to simplify our answer. So our answer is 5/8. Now I'm going to rewrite this one because when we have a whole number, we have to put a 1 underneath of it. So we have 4/9 times 18 over 1. Let's look diagonal across. 9 and 18. They both have a 9 in common because 9 divided by 9 is 1, and 18 divided by 9 is 2. So we have 4 times 2, which is 8. 1 times 1 is 1, and I'm not even going to worry about putting that on the bottom because if you have 1 on the bottom, it's a whole number. Let's move on to the next one. We're going to look across. Both of them are 4s. That means you're going to cross them out and make them 1s. We look between the 3 and the 9. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 9 3 times. So we're going to multiply the top, which are 1s. So 1 times 1 is 1. And 1 times 3 is 3. So we have 1/3. Let's move on to the fourth problem. We look across. We have 6 and 9. 3 goes into both of those numbers. 9 divided by 3 is 3, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. Let's look at the 5 and the 10 now. 5 goes into both of those numbers, so 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. So we have 1 times 3, so we get 3 as our numerator, and then 2 times 2 is 4. At any time, if you don't see the numbers you can cross-cancel, you can just multiply like normal and then simplify at the end. And then our last one on this problem, we have 3/5 times 10 over 1. We're going to look across at the 5 and the 10 because 5 goes into 5 once, and 5 goes into 10 twice. 3 times 2 is 6. On the bottom, we just have 1, so I'm not even going to mess with it. So the answer is 6.